Okay, let me get this straight. I'm an atheist. I never really ever grew up with religion. Never never. Accordingly, there's rules. According to the people's God, there's rules. They say if you commit suicide, you go to hell. Who the hell makes these rules? Why would if you commit suicide go to hell? People think God owns your life. So you commit suicide, you go to hell? One of these other crazy rules, you cannot eat shellfish, you cannot... Seriously? It doesn't even make sense. Even if the God exists, it still doesn't make any sense. I mean, just give me the unknown, because I just can't, I'm just a person that just can't make sense of this. How people just believe in this stuff. Committing suicide makes you go to hell. So this is the rules laid out by God. So if you commit suicide, you go to hell. Okay. And obviously, if you don't believe in Jesus, you go to hell. This God doesn't even make sense. You know what? I hope the God exists because I'm gonna have so many questions when I die, or even I I can't even imagine this God existing. But even if it did exist, or even if I would like to see the hell, I would like to see the heaven. I don't believe it. I don't believe this. If this God exists, doesn't make any sense. He's got this crazy rule, so we don't even know if it's a he. It's like Grand Square says, a it. We don't even know how. It's come on. I mean, seriously, you commit suicide, you go to hell. And why is that? Because it owns your life. Is that what it is? And you can't take your life. I don't understand this stuff. I might not know all about theology, but from what I have written, what I know, it just doesn't make any sense to me, and it's just ridiculous. So, this God exists, doesn't exist, doesn't even matter. Because when I die, if it does exist, I'm gonna have so many fucking questions. And even if I can't have questions, I guess they'll see if this hell is really like something out of a horror movie with demon and monsters. So I hope this God exists. I mean, like I said, I might not know theology or I'm an expert, but from what I know, shit doesn't make any fucking sense. And the boat, how the fuck is that boat hold all those animals and the people not dying from the stench of the smell? Because you can die. You actually can die from from the stench of manure. You can die because it's methane. It's a gas, and that's why actually when you light it, it turns fire. So you can die. See, everything it seems like everything is extraterrestrial because everything evolved from space. Gas, methane, hydrogen, oxygen in our body from the stars. You know? Um, seriously, the rules your God has, or whatever religion, it just doesn't make any fucking sense, man. It really doesn't. Like I said, I hope the God exists, but I seriously find it impossible because I have all these questions, and there's no way this God can answer these questions. Seriously, What is it gonna say before the Big Bang? What is he? What did he do? What is he gonna be saying? He's gonna say what? What? Keeping things in line? Okay, you're keeping things in line from a parallel dimension in the universe, but we know how natural disasters happened. We know how lightning happens. We know how rain. That's not God. We know this. So, like I said, if the God exists, when I have questions, this God won't be able to answer my questions. I mean, remember, the God is supposed to be everything, supposed to be all knowing. So that means it can answer any question. It knows all the questions. It knows your destiny. It knows from present to your birth to your born to the future. It knows everything. Remember what it said in the Bible: all knowing, omniscient, omnipresent. The God's everywhere. I find this incredibly ridiculous and impossible to believe. But like I said, man, it doesn't even matter if there's a God or no God. Because the questions, if it exists, there's no way you can answer. You know, there's a good cartoon called Dark Matter 2225, and it kind of puts all these perspectives. You know, what happens when you die? What happens if atheists gone to heaven? What happens if God was created? What happens um, if you were in hell? What happened? All kinds of questions. And when I look at this stuff, the brilliant writer always outsmarts God. And even apparently God has like this angel buddy, which is like actually a good angel, and like God is perceived as evil one because actually, well, technically he is. I mean, people say of all the killing he did was just, but they but if you think about it, there's like 2 million people the God killed, but and the God, some of the deaths cannot be just because some of the deaths were bogus. There's a death that God killed the person because the person couldn't start the fire correctly. This God cannot exist. I mean, this God doesn't make any sense. I'm smarter than this guy. Are you seriously gonna kill somebody because they can't start the fire? Are you fucking seriously? Doesn't make any fucking sense, man. Like I said, I hope the God exists. Because all the questions I might have, there's no way this guy's gonna answer. So, like I said, if there's a God, it's definitely not in any of the religions. But even the deism God won't make any sense either because infinite aggression. Who created God? Where did it come from? And so forth, and God. That God had a God, another God, another God. So that's why atheism is always the best approach because everything evolved through naturalistic means or extraterrestrial means. Nothing was created, everything evolved. And the uncaused caused. That's how it all started. It was never a cause, it just came to be about. And we'll learn more about the process. So, that's why there's no God or gods. I guess I'm going to look into this thing about committing suicide, you go to hell. I just don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. Who the hell made these rules? Well, according to your religion, is God. What kind of God would hate? If the God gave you genitals, I mean, some people are hermaphrodites, have both genitals. So this even proves that there could not be God, because if God only says you can have you know, um, men and women only have sex, and no men can have sex, and no woman can have sex. He's against the gays. It's a cruel, evil God, stoning children, stoning people. Like I said, this God just cannot exist. And if it exists, it's an evil God. You're worshiping an evil God. But that being said, they say the hell is evil and the heaven's good. So this God is non-existent, can't exist. It's all made up. Because the evil God would put you to hell. There would be no heaven. It's a deceiving God. It's the God. It's bullshit. Doesn't exist, man.